Hi, and welcome to HUR at Home. I'm Angela Stribling, just one of the sisters who are going to be hosting tonight. And let's just get this party started. We've got our cocktails, we've got some fun topics that we want you to join in on. Please take advantage of the comment section because this is all for you. So let's get this party started. I love these ladies so much. Let's see, just any old order. I'm going to bring on Coka-Lani first, Nina Brown, Autumn Joy. Hi, ladies. The ladies of WHUR. How's everybody doing?
I'm great.
Fantastic. But first, we cannot go any further without saying happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
so
beautiful.
much. You know, with that, let's raise our glasses. Another, what did they say? Another rotation around the sun.
Hey.
Autumn's got party favors.
It's birthday this Sunday.
See, your son is a Libra also. Libras rock. So you know what? If I can open up the conversation, I mean, you can't get around. Everybody has to vote. It is imperative that people vote. You can't go anywhere without hearing this. I've been hearing so much lately about, even though people are voting early, the lines are ridiculous. Yeah. Has anybody heard anything?
Yeah, I saw my guy Roland Martin. He was in Texas, and he was actually in literal tears watching all of the people stand in line for over 6 to 8 hours waiting just to do early. It moved him so much because I've been hearing that it's like the first time in history that a lot of states have even had this amount of people turn out to early vote. So, I mean, the lines are long, but it's a beautiful thing. People are waiting.
Stay in line. And Coca, you had something.
Well, I was just going to say it's very important, to register to vote. And a lot of people, the complications. And yesterday was the last day to vote, actually to register to vote in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, and some other states across the country. And you know how some people, there's a whole surge of people, encouraging people to register to vote. And I don't know if you heard yesterday how people in Virginia, the line was cut to the server in Virginia, so no one could register to vote for like half of the day. So they've extended the deadline to register online to vote. And Virginia is one of the only places, I think, that has the ability for you to register online. So it is extended. So if you're watching and you're in Virginia and you have not registered, you have until tomorrow at 5 p.m. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, really good.
Is everybody early voting?
Yes.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? Shout out to all the people who are joining us already. Call Kamalita said happy belated birthday. Thank you. Jennifer Jones said, hi, ladies. Ginny said, so cool to see all of you, but I had to turn my radio down. Yeah, you got to turn your radio down. You don't have to turn it off. Keep it on WHUR, but we appreciate you being here. Now, if I can just name drop a little bit, last weekend, I had the great honor to go to Cynthia Bailey and Mike Hill's wedding. Woo! That was so amazing. Star-studded. Autumn, I saw you doing your thing on Fox 5, and you gave me a shout out. Thank you.
And how was it?
It was really amazing. I mean, they cleaned the place. That was my first trip since COVID. So wow. Honestly, I was so nervous. I was masked up. I had one of those little plastic things over me, not playing any games, wiping everything down.
Those the wedding favors, the masks, because I saw that everyone had a shield on. Okay.
It was a shield. So they were giving away the shields, but I just, wore my own vote mask. But, it's both of their second marriage. And if we can, I love pillow talk and talking about relationships. And that's what girls do when we get together anyway. I mean, I have not been married, but a lot of people say the second time it could be better, or what do you guys think?
Nina, are you the only one on here who's married?
Yeah, and I've been divorced before, so yeah, I can speak from experience. But to be honest, like my first marriage, I was 22. So, I was young. And the reason that marriage didn't last was because I didn't know who I was. And like, no shade was my son's father. He was an amazing person, but he was to figure me out, So I had to go on that whole self-exploration journey. I understood who I was as a mom, as a woman. what I wanted to do in life. And I was single for 20 years before I got married again. And I needed all 20 of those years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You hear that a lot with people, don't you? I mean, that especially when people get married young. I mean, it's, as hard. You're both kind of going.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, and to be honest, like, I didn't even have the relationship I have now spiritually is totally different. So, like, I feel like then I did it out of convenience because we did have a kid together. And it was like, I thought, oh, like now we have to get married. We bought a house together. Our families know each other. And it felt like, everyone was like, well, when are you going to get married? And at that age, the pressure came in and we were like, okay, well, let's just get married because we already live together. We already have a kid together. We already bought a house together. And that's the wrong thing to do. You know what I mean? It should have been based on like, oh, because I cannot imagine my life without you. And that wasn't the case.
Now, let me ask you this, because Nia, you said it took you 20 years before you found your husband right now. Now, how long did you guys date? Because I know that's something that a lot of people think. I know, Autumn, you're in a relationship. I'm not trying to put you on Front Street, but normally, how long do you date your husband before you got married? Because I've heard so many things. I heard how as people get older, they don't wait as long because you're
1 year.
Okay.
Oh, I love it.
We actually met on Match.
Okay.
And yeah, we met online, and I was very intentional about like what I wanted, what I was looking for. I made it very clear that like I want to get married. I want to have another child. And he had never been married. He didn't have any children. So, and he was also looking to get married. Like, so we were very intentional about it. We had those early, difficult conversations early, and we were intentional. We spent a lot of time together. I mean, I really don't feel like we missed steps. We just were very intentional about it. It wasn't about playing games. It wasn't about like we were exclusive, and go ahead, Autumn.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm happy that we're having this conversation because you can help me out. My current boyfriend, he's 40, doesn't have kids, and I'm almost 40, and I only have one son. So how did you tackle, being scared about having a child? So, look at labor as opposed to like, when you're in your 20s and all of that. Because that's one thing I'm a little nervous about, but I also feel like it's something he should experience.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we didn't really think about it. Because I was 38 when I got pregnant, and I mean, we were both healthy, and the doctors were like, it's okay. He wanted to have a child. We knew we wanted to have children. So that was a part of our very intentional like journey. It was like, okay. And to be honest with you, I was even less worried about the order. Like we knew we wanted to get married. We knew we wanted to buy a house. We knew we wanted to have a child. It was less important to me if it went in order. And we actually were pregnant. I was 6 months pregnant when we got married. And in hindsight, I wouldn't do it that way.
Okay.
Because like being a pregnant bride is the absolute worst thing you can ever do. Like you want to
is that what you
beautiful on that day. Like I felt my face was fat. The wedding dress was not like how I wanted it to be. It was just not like what I envisioned. Like I wanted to feel beautiful, and I felt fat, to be honest, just like keeping it real.
But you know what though, Nina, I'm sure you were the only one who felt that way because I've gone to weddings where the woman is pregnant and it was beautiful. I mean, to me, from the outside looking in, I can understand you saying that. If I can, I want to shout out, call Carmelita, who said, note to self, sign up for Match.
Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with online dating. As people who are busy, who are working, and when you said that, and you said you were intentional, I have some good friends who live in Atlanta and who live all over, and they have gone online, and I've experienced that myself, who've gone online to date, and you're very intentional. Do you think a lot of people think there's a stigma attached to that?
Can I be totally honest with y'all ladies? So I used to be like a total advocate for like online dating, and I still am. Like I tell people, if you're not the type who's going to want to go out, or especially during COVID, like online date, right? Because you do need to be out there, and it's good practice. Like dating is a skill. It's an art, to be honest, right? You have to have a conversation. There are certain questions, and just being able to be like vulnerable and transparent. Like you have to do it more often to get used to it. But now my thought about online dating is that So like the difference in my relationship with my husband, like had we known each other for 5 years, right? I would have known more about like his family and the difficulties, like, some difficulties in his past relationships. Like I would have been privy to that. But because we met and we dated and it moved so quickly, like you just don't have like that history. Like you can't do the same like fact checks like you would have done if it was a friend that you could have been observing.
But in a way, isn't that like better because you're focused? Like you said, you and him, you both were intentional. And I've heard before that some people, and this is why I like everyone to include, I've heard before, like you said, you were dating for a year and then you guys got married. I've heard some people say, after 2 years, a man knows whether he wants to get married or not. So if you with somebody 6 years and y'all been engaged for 7, come on now.
No, that's too long.
Wasting time. And as you get older, like when you're in your 20s, you can say, okay, well, I've known you for 7 years. I've lived across country. Now let's do it. But
Nina also raised a good point earlier when she said the older you get, you're not really trying to be out here dating for a long time. You just want to get to it. So while I've never done the online dating thing, I've been fascinated with it. I don't know. You
should give it a try. Like if you know that you are ready for like a serious commitment, then online dating is good because the people who are on there are also ready for a serious commitment.
There are some crazy people.
Yeah, but there's crazy people in the bar. Like you can meet crazy people at church. You can meet crazy people no matter what. So that's what I'm saying. You still have to do your due diligence.
Right.
You still have to, watch for the red flags and ask those like important questions. But you're not going to meet more crazies or less crazies. It's the same amount of crazies.
Lisa Dove Washington said, I met my husband 31 years ago, but they got married 10 years ago. It can work both ways. I think, with online dating, I host Pillow Talk. And so we talk about this kind of thing all the time. A lot of the guys have this idea that the women on here are all desperate. So I'm just on these dating sites to sleep with as many of them as I can, which is a misnomer, but a lot of guys feel that way. Just putting it out there.
And let me just say something. I'm reading one of the comments. Anthony Moreno, aka Frenchie, he said, "God is the best dating app." Amen.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm
drop the mic on that one. Drop the mic. So you know what? If we can pivot, one of the things I know, I'm such a Real Housewives fan, and in watching Real Housewives of Potomac, my girl Ashley is always, catching her man doing something crazy and shady. So this last time, you ladies watch it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so her husband, what's his name? Oh gosh, I'm not remembering his name. Well, her husband was caught in a hotel sleeping with somebody else when Ashley is out there on a girls' trip. So this time, she just had his baby.
Yeah.
And now she's pregnant with another one, but this was before she was actually pregnant. And she said, okay, if this ever happens again, I need you to sign a post-nuptial agreement. I had never heard of a post-nup, but how do you ladies feel about that?
Well, what's that? Just make an amendment to your prenup, so if you get divorced, you can add some stuff on?
I think it's like the prenup after you get married. It's like creating a whole business agreement, after you say your vows. Literally a prenup, but after the wedding.
Yeah. To protect her and the baby if he cheats again, that they get a lot more money. What do you think, Autumn?
That's too much. That's too much. If you got to do all that with a man, just grab your baby, pack your things, and just go. Like, if you're creating documents and all of that to try to keep a man faithful, like that's not the man for you. So I would just leave. That's just me.
So what are you saying? You want a consolation prize? You want some kind of, you messed up on me. I get the bad. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta take it. You just gotta take it as a bad relationship and move on. Something happened. I don't think you should say, because you messed up. The prenup, I think it should probably be stipulated in that. Like if you cheat or if you do that, this, that. But no posting up after y'all been in it. Hey,
Yeah.
I have my post nuts.
I don't know. I mean, because, all right, here, obviously, Ashley is the one who didn't come in with any money, you know, but the guy has a lot of money. And
Michael.
prenup, it doesn't say if he cheats, she'll get all this money. So she's saying, all right, you can cheat if you want to, but if you do it again, mommy and the baby are going to be paid.
But are they going to be paid and stay married, or are they going to be paid and get a divorce? Is she trying to get a supplemental, allowance?
That's the question. I interpret it as paid and we're out.
Oh,
But that, to me, it's silly because if they're legally married, then and they get a divorce, like she will be entitled to stuff anyways because you're the wife. Like you're gonna get probably alimony. You'll definitely get child support. Like there's legal things already in place for married people who break up. You know what I mean? And I know Patrice just gave us tea. She was saying Michael dibbles and dabbles on both sides of the fence. So that changes the game for me. I'm out on that note.
Exactly. It's too much. I mean, how are you going to cheat with a man?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
That's crazy. I mean, you know, the whole cheating thing, if a guy cheats on you,
ew.
you take him back. I mean, there was this situation now with Cardi B partying with her ex, who it was just last week. She was like, you know, trying to get a divorce.
Right.
I mean, what does it say if your man or your woman, you know, if you're the guy and your woman is cheating on you, or if you're in a gay, whatever your situation is, if your partner cheats on you and you take them back, does that mean if they cheat again, you can't say anything? I mean, right?
I personally think that once you're married, like if someone cheats, you can recover from that. Like
Right.
if someone cheats once, they make a mistake, you go through therapy,
Right.
go to church, you're praying about it, you're getting individual counseling, you're getting marriage counseling. But to be a habitual cheater is just disrespectful, right? So I think it's off the table if someone is going to be a habitual cheater, because how much can you truly respect or love me and your family if you're going to continue to lie and cheat? But, you know, I will say, like, I don't know if they're back together. And there is something to be said about people who know that they're going to be co-parenting for the rest of a child's life. Like, if they're not getting back together and that's what the headlines say, then I actually respect them for just being able to co-parent and still be amicable, right? Because the alternative is, you know, it could be the Dr. Dre and Nicole Young situation where it's just nasty and it's bitter. But you have a young child. Culture is barely 2-3 years old. Like, y'all got a long way to go to raise this little girl. And if you can be friends and still respect each other publicly, show love to each other because they are a significant person in your life, I think it's dope. You know, I don't think
It's kind of the situation. Yeah. What do you think, Autumn? Ooh. You're just sitting there like, wow.
I mean, I'm taking everything that you all are saying in. Here's what I think. I think that when it comes to their situation, Offset is not going to stop cheating on her. And I think that the fact that she made it public that they were going to get a divorce, I don't think that she really wants a divorce. I just think that was more so for him as a, you know what, I'm sick of you cheating. Look, I'm going to divorce you. Woo! But at the end of the day, that's not ultimately what she wants. She accepted that Rolls Royce that he bought her.
Yeah.
He allowed him to come to her birthday party. They were open mouth kissing at the birthday party. So it's apparent that, you know, that divorce, whatever she was trying to do, wasn't a real thing. And honestly, if she does, and when she does get back with him, are we still Team Cardi? If he cheats on her again, is it like, well, hey girl, you knew what he was doing?
Here's the thing though, were there the flags? This is what I'm saying. If it was barking like a dog before you got it home and now it's acting like a dog, you can't get mad that it's doing dog stuff. So my thing was when they were dating, that's what I'm just saying, you know, a lot of people, you know, and I can't even talk, I have never been married, but you see the signs while you're dating. You know, if somebody's cheating on you while you're dating and you're constantly taking them back and then you get married, they didn't even, you know, your relationship wasn't even sanctified enough for them to be faithful. So my question is, I don't know, but was Offset, you know, was he, you know, doing all that stuff while they were dating?
Not his first time. Okay, Alvin Daly said marriage is hard work. Alvin has been married for almost 41 years. Oh, good for you. Leave the cheating alone.
Yeah.
And Darlene, shout out Darlene Jackson. She said it was acceptable behavior before they had kids.
Exactly. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can't change that because that's
So, ladies, let
Acceptable.
me ask you, like, do you ladies feel you can recover from cheating if your spouse, if your husband, not the guy you're dating, if you were married and your husband cheated, like, would you give it a try, or would you just out the first time?
Well, I will say that no, while I've not been married, my relationships have all been long-term, and I've been engaged. And unfortunately, we didn't go through with the marriage because he was a cheater. And, honestly, we were so close and it was so shocking. And I did forgive him the first time.
Ooh.
I took him back and he did it again. And I'm like, ouch, this is not what God has planned for me.
Who cheats on Angela Scribbling? Like, who cheats on Angela Scribbling? Like,
Watching right now. No, I'm saying.
It's not. I think with Cardi B or whoever, when you take a person, I mean, sure, everyone can change. And people who have cheated have turned it around and have been able to be faithful, but they've got to own it. They've got to really own what they've done. And they've got to be willing to be transparent with their mate without saying, oh, I can't, you can't be questioning me. Yeah, you do.
And you have to earn that back. But one thing
everything.
I would say there's difference. I mean, I believe in emotional cheating as well. Just the physical.
That's all fine.
But if you're confiding and you got like, well, this is my best friend. No, it's not.
I'm your best friend, baby.
I don't know about y'all, but I mean, emotional cheating. I don't know. What about you, Nina? Does your husband have close girlfriends? Do you guys like have an understanding? You can't be confiding. I'm your best friend. I mean, what's your thought?
Look at Nina. She's like,
I will be honest with you. Like, there was a transition where, we had to have a couple of conversations about, like, okay, now you shouldn't be talking to this person or that person. And there was a conversation about it. So, and I wouldn't say it was. I am the type, like, let's nip it in the butt now so it doesn't become a problem. Yeah. But I'm also the type of woman who will say something because, I think as a woman, the worst thing we want is to feel like you're making us look stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want any woman to be able to be like, oh, and I'm talking to him. So I was real quick to be like, listen, I don't feel comfortable with you having a conversation with this person or that person. And it was dead. Like, it was immediately dead after that.
I'm the exact opposite, actually. My boyfriend, he has like very good, close female friends, and I am 100% okay with that.
But have you ever dated them on him? These were people that he had dated.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. He was fine with having female friends. Like, that's fine.
No.
Yeah, no. I'm friends with a lot of the female friends, and I'm okay with him having female friends. But if you've dated someone, if you slept with someone, like, no. And what's my thing? If they weren't at our wedding, then they weren't important enough for you to invite. So,
do you believe too that there are no new friends? Like, he can't have any new girlfriends after y'all married. I mean,
you can, because there's like work people, but if
but they're just friends.
If I have a new guy friend, like, they're gonna know who my husband is, and I'm gonna be coming home, like, oh, let me tell you about my homeboy, like, Quan G and DJ Herb, who works on the Frank Ski Show with me and my husband all the time. So my husband's not gonna be like, who is that? He's gonna be like, oh yeah, I hear you talk about them, and so
I love it.
Yeah, I'm very confident with us having opposite sex friends, but like, no, if you dated them and I've never heard their name, like, don't start that mess now.
The transparency is everything. And you know what, Alvin, thank you for all this 41 years married wisdom. Alvin, express your feelings and they don't stop, walk away. Well, you know what, but that brings an interesting point. Just talking about male-female relationships. You're married or you're in a long-term relationship or a committed relationship, and this person has friends of the opposite sex. You've got to be transparent about it. I mean, you don't want this person to be telling this person, like, if I'm with the guy and he's he's got these female friends. I don't want her to know everything that's going on in our relationship.
Yes.
Don't go running to her, telling her your problems, the argument that you and I had, seeking advice from her. None of that. That is emotional cheating, because that's how, I mean, you ladies know, it's hard sometimes being just friends with males, because there's another energy that sometimes the males who are just your friends are really trying to get with you. And, you know, whether they say it or not, you can tell. So I think it's kind of up to you, if it's that kind of energy, to kind of, you know, if you're in a relationship, that you got to keep those at bay. Maybe you don't entertain those types of friendships.
See,
what do you think?
Frank Sweet always says that women always have friends on the side who, like, he's so quick to always say that. And I'm like, I feel like, but women are different. Like, I feel like I don't feel temptation. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never good. Like,
what's Frank think is the break in case of emergency guy on the side? Is that what
he feels like all women have that break in case of an emergency on the side?
Well, I think what he's saying is that some of these guys that we look at as our buddies, some of them are looking at us like, you know what, as soon as he messes up.
No, and that's true. Like, let's be real, y'all.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I know there's been people, and I stay away from those people who have said, like, if ever there's an opportunity, and I'm like, okay, and I'm, you know, like, we can't even be friends because this is an uncomfortable situation. Like, you're disrespecting my situation, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. So,
Alan says no one should know what's going on with you and your spouse. See a therapist if you need to talk.
I can say this though, I do appreciate, you know, my boyfriend, he does have one specific female friend that he's never been intimate with, that he does talk to, and I appreciate their friendship because she has been the one that has spoken truth to him from a woman's perspective when maybe he wouldn't listen to me. You know what I mean? Or if we got to an argument or something, he would go to her and say, hey, listen, she said this, and that, and she would check him like, no, you're wrong. You needed to do. So it's almost like a sister-brother relationship. Yeah. You appreciate, you know, from that perspective. You okay, Coka-Lani?
Right.
She recovered real fast.
But yeah, so I guess it just depends. But like you all said, if it was a sexual situation, then no, I don't. The energy does not need to be around.
And when a woman respects like the union, like in your situation, like, you know, when a woman respects your relationship, and women, then that's the people I want my man to go and talk to, because it's like, she respects me, she respects my marriage. Like, whatever advice she's going to give, it's not going to be, you know, something that's going to make me feel like, no, she's like low key trying to get with them. But that's the difference. It's like, you got to know who respects the marriage and who respects the relationship.
Okay, some of these comments, Isham said, wives are suspicious if they're not pretty. What?
I don't understand that.
What are you talking about? No. I don't even know. And is it Cal? Maybe Cal.
I think the
Cal just checked Isham and said, what are you talking about? No. I think, you know, there are levels of security, and, you know, sometimes you're insecure. And sometimes when you are insecure, it does play out in different ways, and that can be damaging as well. You know, so to your point, Autumn, it's good that you're confident enough in yourself and in your relationship to, you know what I mean, to respect that relationship and even welcome it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that was one of the things when we first started dating. His previous relationships, the women were very insecure, and they, you know, whenever he would try to introduce them to his female friends, they always thought something else was going on. And because what you all will understand is, in the entertainment industry, we all legitimately have male friends that are just our friends, record reps, our co-workers, our bosses, and you know, I've been in situations with men that didn't understand how I could just be friends with guys. So when he told me that, he was like, listen, I still want to maintain my friendship with my female friends. Of course, I'll be respectful. But if you're not okay with that, then we can't move forward. He literally, our first one, that is what he said. And my it's like, well, if that's your only qualm, that's perfect because I too have male friends.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good.
grown up stuff right there.
But you know what it is? It's that experience, and it's like, you know what? I've been through too many relationships where it ended bad because they thought something that it wasn't. Let me come out the gate letting you know.
That's good.
So we can. So now moving forward, I've literally met all of his female friends, and when I tell you, the most amazing, most supportive women. If I launch something, they're the first ones to buy. They're there hanging out. We all go to dinner. I mean, it's just so cool. But like you all said, I am uncomfortable if it is someone that he's had a previous relationship with, and I've had women that he's had relationships with in the past try to reach out, and I'm like,
Yeah, you're right. What were you trying to say, Coka-Lani?
No, I was just saying, I think that's really great to put everything up at the front when you're dating someone, because you don't want to meet their representative. And that's when you're dating someone, you're always meeting the representative for the first 5 months. So do you think it's okay just to put everything out that first, that wasn't really a bad thing to say, look, you got to accept my female friends, but you got to accept that I don't know, putting all the things out at the first,
Yeah, I appreciate him for doing that. I mean, I honestly, I was a little taken aback because, like you said, I thought the representative was going to be at that brunch, but he straight out said it, and so I appreciated it that he came out and was honest with me.
That's good.
So then that way, I could have made the decision right then and there. If I wasn't comfortable with that, you know what, I'm going to walk away. But I was 100% okay with that, and that was literally the only thing that he had. I was
good.
That's it.
I love it. You know what? Just to take this whole topic and twist it a little bit. All right. So he was honest enough and confident enough to say, listen, this is important to me. This is my good friend. If you have a problem, this isn't going to work out. But have you been in a situation, either of you, where the person was just so jealous? I mean, just super jealous of every male who was, I guess, in your life. And there are plenty of people who are like that. And even though their representative shows up in the beginning, there are signs.
Yeah. Coka-Lani, she's ready.
Well, I did. This was back in the 90s when I was in another place. I ain't even gonna say anything. But you know how we interview people on the radio, and if people don't understand, when you're on the radio, you're friendly with people, you're talking. He was listening, and he was like, "Why were you flirting?" I think I was interviewing Maxwell, and me and Maxwell are cool. We go back, and he's like, "I heard you debate with Maxwell," and I was like, but that's what I'm saying. You have to get someone who understands. Look, you're going to talk to people. This is what you do for a living. Yeah. You got to be secure enough in knowing that
everybody doesn't get that, especially if they're not in the business.
Right.
Nina, have you ever
laughing too much? What?
No, I've never, now I've dated some guys with some other flaws, but insecurity and being jealous has never been one of them. My personality is so big that I kind of steer clear of people who are insecure, even people who are want me to dim my shine. I'm just that type. So I usually attract people who
now break that down. Dim your shine. Have you seen that? People who want you to dim your shine. Break it down, Autumn. Break it down.
Yeah, just people who I don't know, who just literally are not happy for your happiness, even subtly, right? If you're just did something great and they're not your friends, right? And your family, even whatever it is, whether it be big or small, if it's a win for you, they're going to celebrate that. I'm even very leery of people who are oh, okay, great. And I'm okay, that to me is oh, okay, you're literally trying to dull my shine, dim down. My friends, my true friends, celebrate everyone. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I am like that. You know what I mean? When Autumn told me that her boyfriend got this job, I remembered her saying he finds out on Thursday. I made sure on Thursday, did he get the job, boo? And when she did, it was 1,000 emojis on a text because I knew that was important to her. I've never met her boyfriend, but that was important to her. That's the kind of friend I am. And those are the type of people that I try to surround myself with, who's going to be happy for my happiness, period.
But baby, some relationships will present themselves one way that they're all, oh yeah, I'm so happy that you're
Angela, tell us, Angela.
So I'm telling you right now that, you know, everything that glitters is not gold. People will try to fool you in the beginning that they're team you, but in reality, they just want to kind of get in there and then control what you're doing and dim your shine and be jealous of every single thing.
I gotta say, honestly, you know, it's gotten to the point now, and I won't get too deep into details, but I literally had to, like, recently had to cut my circle down to maybe like one person. Wow. Because I was noticing that the women, you know, that I was trying to befriend, and like you said, Nina, because we have such big personalities and we're cool and we're really nice people, people don't receive that well. And so, you know, the saying, you know, people are jealous of how other people speak about you, how other people treat you. And what was happening was I was noticing that, especially the females that I thought were my friends, I just started noticing a pattern where it was like a weird kind of like a competition thing, like and it just got very strange. And so I had to tell myself, you know what? You have to cut your circle down. You have to get rid of that energy. And you have to understand that you can't really take everybody with you. And everybody is not going to be happy for you. Everybody's not going to clap for you. And I had to stop looking for that. It got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm happy for myself. I will pat myself on the back. I'll pour myself a glass of wine in celebration and move on to the next thing.
And you know what, Autumn, you said something that is just so key because, you know, in my development, the older I get, you know, the more I experience just successes, failures, all of that, just living life. And you do notice the people in your circle and how they react to you. And I am a sensitive person, and it used to bother me when people I just really wanted to be Team Angela and scream and celebrate me were like, oh yeah, that's nice. You know, or I'd say, oh, turn on, you know, channel 7, I'm getting ready to be on. And they'd be like, I'm watching, you know, something.
Exactly. You're like, what?
But the thing is, Autumn, what you said is the gem. You know, it's really not their fault. I mean, sometimes people feel like there isn't enough. They don't know yet. And I just try to pray for them and for their own growth. You're not going to be in my circle, but I'm going to pray for you. I still love you, but I'm going to love you at a distance. And they'll get there. You know, but to be on your own side and to celebrate yourself and tighten up your circle and to have people who do celebrate you around you, have the people who genuinely are happy for you, the people who are looking out for you, just like Nina, who remembered to call you on Thursday. That's the real stuff right there. You know what I mean? The people who genuinely love you and realize that God is a very big God. He didn't create one person better than the other. He's not a respecter of persons.
Amen.
Every last one of us, and there's enough. It's like, you got yours, girl. Good. I'm going to celebrate you all day.
For everybody.
I know I'm getting mine. I know God loves me. I know I'm good, and it doesn't take anything away from me.
Yeah.
What you get. In fact, right? I mean, to celebrate you, that even opens more doors for me. Yeah. But people need to get that. People, and again, I pray for people to get there because it's their own development. That's the problem. Yeah. They don't really have as much faith as I want them to have. But, you know, hopefully they'll get there.
I love you, ladies. I just want to say that.
Love you, too. And I guess you know, oh, you're going to be my
heart. I don't know if I'm doing a heart.
Oh, listen, before we go, have any of you ever tried these magnetic lashes? Because I have them on for the first time.
I want to try lashes, but I can't do
it. I'm like, please don't let them fall off.
Oh, you have some on?
I do.
Oh, good. Rave about those magnetic lashes. I mean,
just put the eyeliner on, and then you get the lashes, and you just pop it on. But full disclosure, one popped right back off. So I'm hoping that it lasts at least until we end.
But Angela, is that safe? Like,
that's what I'm wondering. With the
it's not worth wearing. If my eyes don't open in the morning,
it's like, hey, it's 1:00. What?
You see me on this live looking real crazy here. Thank you all so much. I'll give you my review the next time I see you. But this has been so much fun. Okay, everybody, before we say goodnight, I want to thank everybody who showed up, especially in the comments section. We do this all for you and really appreciate you joining us every Wednesday at 9 o'clock Eastern. What's that, Nina?
Can we just shout out Jenny? Jenny has been showing us so much love. Like y'all, when y'all were talking, like she made a comment about like, you know, the saying, you have a face for radio. Not any of you ladies, you guys are all beautiful. So shout out. Major love, Jenny. Thank you. And I love, we've been getting a lot of compliments from guys too, but like, I love
the women.
when other women uplift other women. Like that is so important. So thank you, Jenny. Carmelita, you've been showing so much love too. Like,
Odessa, you see this, Odessa? Everything you're all talking about, I've been through. It wasn't fun at all.
Richard, my boyfriend's in here. Richard,
hey, boyfriend.
Hi, Richard. Congratulations to you, Richard. We all heard about your new job. Is he here now? Is he here?
He'll be here next week.
Yeah. Maybe he'll do a pop-in.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
We're gonna have to check you out, Richard. No, really happy. Very, very happy.
Oh, and also don't forget we have an email. So if anyone wants to send us topics, questions, things that we can discuss, please, Coka-Lani, what's the email?
ladiesnight@WHUR.com. Very simple.
Love it. And while we're at it, thank you, Elon.
What?
Lisa love, happy belated birthday.
Lisa, hey, Lisa.
Love the ladies lifting each other up. Yes, absolutely. Individual, I guess, Instagram, whatever your social media. Coka-Lani?
Oh, my Instagram and Twitter is Coka-Lani, Cokalani.
Is she signing? Wait. See?
So now I feel like I got to do sign language too.
No, you don't have to. This is closed caption though, so we all good.
My Instagram is Panina Brown. It's P as in Paul, E as in Echo, Nina Brown listen to me, I'm giving emails on Instagram.
She's like, I can't sign, but I'm going to talk with my hands. I love it. Autumn?
Okay. Mine is AUTUNJOILIB.
Okay, that's
Yes. Oh man, I got nothing. I love you all. Add Angela Stribling on all platforms. Thank you, ladies. Have a great night. We'll see you on Wednesday. And I'm actually going to see everybody. Tomorrow night, we're going to have a BET review. I'm going to hang out with Rap City Fam. Liz and comedian The Mayor, Chris Thomas. So that's tomorrow night right here, 9 o'clock, same place. So, all right, ladies, have a good night. Love you so much.
Love you.
Bye.